Okay.
Okay, so at home farm, this is when I was about 23, 22, 21.
Oh my God, younger than me.
So anyway, the thing at home farm was that Dad would make an announcement sort of sometime, like say on a Tuesday or Thursday or whatever, middle of the week, wouldn't really matter when. But look, we've got a problem. There's one of our beef cattle down on Glastonbury Moor has got out, and unfortunately it's got on. Now the phone had rung several times over several weeks with this dairy farmer complaining about one of Derek Maunder's beef cattle being in with his dairy cows. He's got about 80 to 120 lovely black and white Frisian dairy cows on Glastonbury Moor. And what was beginning to just begin to get to him a bit was that these cows come in from the field twice a day to be milked. When they come in, actually go into a collecting pen, and they come and they're milked sort of 8 at a time, side by side cubicle, or might have been a herringbone by then. But the point was that when the cows come in, part of the reason for coming in to be milked, they actually get a ration of nuts. This bullock had worked out, and you're not going to get any milk out of a bullock, was that it came with them and had a ration of nuts.
Yeah.
And the farmer was getting a bit sort of pissed off with all this. And the fact that Derek Maund didn't seem to be doing a lot about it. Yeah. And finally, sort of very irate, Dad said, "Oh, okay, right, we'll be down." So the day arrived, and we all head off down to Glastonbury Moor, and there was things like, it'd be like Grandpa, a Land Rover, us in the back, a dog which was either in the back or would follow us, Ben, and one of the chaps would help. So
one of the chaps?
Yeah, one of the chaps that used to work on the farm.
Very English of you.
Like Mike White and something else. So we went and got this, to get this bullock out. Now, all the cows had been milked in the morning, so we got down there about 11 o'clock, and a beautiful sort of summer's day, and we sort of, there it is, Mr. Maunder, you can see it. So we're staring from the road. So what's best? Well, what's best is that if we go in there and we'll just try and hunt the bullock away from the cows, out onto the road and back around, down to the crossroads and about half a mile up to the field he came from.
Okay.
Now, that failed over several attempts. The cows, this bullock could not be separated from the cows. So then they had a better idea, which was to hunt all the cows out onto the road, restricting the area they could run, have somebody at the front, which turned out to be Susan, and someone at the back, which turned out to be a Spanish student over here. Not a great deal of agricultural experience, I would say.
Yeah.
And it was Grandpa and myself and the chap in the field.
The chap, yeah.
So,
the plan was to get them onto the road. Was there anything following that? Because it doesn't seem like a full plan. It just seems like you then have the cows on the road.
The idea is that you have the cows on the road. It's a narrower area. You separate the bullock from the cows. Then you let that go past, say, Sue, who was guarding the Glastonbury Way exit, and then you hunt the cows back into the field because they're much more placid, and your job's done. You just hunt down the road.
You didn't have to get any permission to just block off the road.
The farmer had, apart from knowing that Mr. Maunder was coming down to sort it out, he had no idea what was happening in his dairy. And I think at no stage, I think if he'd known about it, he would have actually maybe suggested, look, just that we'll get the minute milking time, or we'll come and give you a hand. But he had no idea this was going on. The cows left the field, got up on there. As soon as cows' feet hit tarmac, they start to trot.
Right.
And for some reason, they started to trot. They turned right, and there was Dad in the field, and he was hollering at, "Stop them, Sue! Stop the cows! We're out in a minute! Stop the cows!" Anyway, the cows hit and there's Sue waving her arms, just waving her arms, as this whole herd of cows, including the bullock, steamed by her and headed towards Cow Bridge, which is a blind humpback bridge, which the road went over towards Glastonbury. I managed to get in my car and, like some sort of boy race, I think, my little Hillman in, and I was tearing in and out of the cattle to try and get ahead of them, to turn them round. And just literally 200 yards before Cowbridge, we managed to get in front of them, stop them, and turn around and head them back. And Dad was saying, you didn't do a very good job, love. What's up, Sue? What happened? Dad, I couldn't. So we hunted all the cattle back into the field. All the cows with the cow, and by then Dad sort of tipped his hat back and said, I think we've seen enough for one day, and off we went. So the only clue I think that the farmer would have, that would have been any attempt to get the bullock out, was the fact that his milk yield would have been considerably lower that night.
Yeah.
And yeah, okay, yeah, we'll be down next week. We'll come on down. So we went down again, and this time there was a much bigger operation. There was no
How many
dairyman.
chaps did you have?
Must have had about 2 or 3 chaps,
Right.
myself and someone else. So there was a red brick building in the field, and what they managed to do with a lot of shouting and hollering and everything, and they managed to get the bullock into this shed. And they backed up a horse box they'd taken with them, this little tractor-driven sort of thing, and they up to the everything was going like clockwork. So in went Mike, in with his stick into the house to actually get the bullock out, to go out, up the ramp and into the.
So there's a big red brick shed. It's one floor. It's like where they would.
Yeah, it's just sort of one of those rural sort of
Okay.
where you might put hay and straw and stuff, and it's just a cover with a
So
roof.
it's just the bull in there.
Just the bull in there, bullock.
Um,
And Mike's gone in there with his stick to get it back out the door and up to the. And there was a lot of shouting. You hear a thwack or two, and the next thing was I saw this bullock's front appear through what seemed to be quite a narrow window in the building. And but it wasn't the door. And the point is that there was more shouting. I heard the stick go again. The bullock roared, and with that, the whole building wall bowed out, and they could see there was an imminent desire. But anyway, it kicked, and it managed to get up, and it kicked again, and it got out and joined the cows. And yes,
so who had captured the bull? Was it you guys who got it into the?
yeah, I think we might have actually got it
shed?
into the shed.
Oh right. So the dairy farmers didn't know that.
No, that we'd come down, and all they do is when they came back, they found it was it was still there. Eventually, what happened was that at milking time, they managed to absolutely get it. And look, we've got it trapped in the milking barrel, Mr. Maunder. Bloody
Can't get out.
So I think Dad went down with a bottle of whiskey and handed it over, and they managed to get the bullock back.
Okay.
It's a big
That's
operation.
Yeah.
But oh god,
I
no.
can imagine how difficult it was. I've had my fair share of it trying to capture escaped cows from the moors, and it doesn't ever go well.